Guys, I think we're live. Dr. G here. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. I'm fasting. Just wanted to check in with you guys that are also on the Monday, Thursday fasting routine. Had a wonderful day. What is it, 6:30? Not feeling hungry at all. Just amazing. So working on staying fit through diet. I can't exercise. So that's that's not really an option for me. I can't shake up my neck. I've got 2 stripes already. I don't want to have to get a 3rd one. But I've been feeling good and continue with the whole food plant-based diet. I continue with the Monday, Thursday fasting. And for me, it seems to work pretty well. So I may in the future have to look for maybe doing a longer period fast. It seems to be an easy way for me to lose weight. So doing it not just for better nutrition and to turn on the restorative genome portion of our genome, the heal and repair portion, but also for me, it's a good weight management tool. And it helps me with my addiction to delicious foods I do like to eat. So that's the Italian in me. I've got enough Italian in me to make me like pasta and mayonnaise and all of that wonderful stuff. So looking to continue breaking that addiction cycle for me. Anyway, so I just wanted to check in with you guys, let you know that all's still well, all's going well. And I'm available for questions on this channel if you want to chat about what you're doing and how you're working to be healthier, whether you're doing a whole food plant-based diet as a way of eating, not just necessarily a weight loss diet, but as a way of eating, or if you're into the keto thing and how you might feel with that, or paleo or any of these. From a weight loss standpoint, they all work if you stick with them. If you don't, then they don't work. So the thing you have to keep in mind is whatever you do, it needs to be sustainable. And my concern with the keto diets and the high animal protein and therefore animal fats and so forth, is that it does long-term damage to the vasculature, and it's not necessarily as healthy as we all might think. However, some people find it as a useful tool to lose weight, because even though they feel like they're eating all they can eat in those items, I think that overall they're reducing their calories, and so that's probably why they're losing weight. But I'm all for anything that will help you if you have a weight problem and you want to lose weight. Hi, Darla. So anyway, so I was a few pounds over 200. Had a very festive weekend. That's a fancy way of saying I ate too much, and so hopefully I'll be closer to the 200 tomorrow. Hi, Karen. You're type 2 diabetic, but you swim 5 times a week. Swimming is great exercise, and you walk, eat lots of veggies, salads, and chicken. I love the veggies and salads. Chicken has 98% of the cholesterol content that beef has, and chicken also is the #1 total source of cholesterol intake for Americans. So, I understand when you're type 2 diabetic and you want to lose weight, it's hard to do because you're already restricting a lot of your carbohydrates. And I think that's one of the reasons why diabetics in general their disease continues to progress despite having good diabetes control. Because if you overload your body with too much meat, then it makes the diabetes worse. It just doesn't show up. It doesn't manifest until you do add the carbs in later. So it's a tricky tightrope to walk. I know it's very difficult, and I've helped a lot of patients over the years lose weight. But one of the things that we have to do, besides being active, which you're doing, peanut butter is good for you. There's nothing wrong with peanut butter. I think peanuts. I think of all the nuts, peanuts are my least favorite. They're also probably the least healthy. Try for the tree nuts, walnuts, almonds. Those are a better source. There are lots of great nuts. I like chia seeds too. They're a good source. But peanut butter, when you're a type 2 diabetic, peanut butter is a good source of protein. It's a good source of energy. So I think, yeah, peanut butter is a good choice. Depends on what you put the peanut butter on, though. Put it on celery, and you've got a much better option there than putting it on bread. That's something I need to learn too. Chickpea hummus, which is from garbanzo beans or chickpeas, is actually, you can get them with different toppings, different kinds of flavors. I think there's a big company, I can't remember the name of it, but Saboro, something like that. But they make it, you can get it with hot sauce, you can get it with mild sauce. They put a little sauce in the middle. So if you dip a vegetable in it, you can get more taste. The hummus itself is not really that tasty. Yeah, ground flax seeds, that's a great source of the omega-3s. I really recommend flaxseed oil. For people that are still eating meat products, I recommend either the ground flaxseed oil or the purified fish oil, like I have for sale on my meta-7.com page. But I'm really, ambivalent as to which one, as long as we get those omega-3s in. They really do seem to help. And there's a relationship between omega-3s and omega-4s, and it's a balance. And you want to reduce your omega-4s and increase your omega-3s. Well, omega-4s, you get a lot in animal products. So you want to increase your omega-3 so you can improve that ratio. So it's just stuff to look at. But as far as seeds are concerned, walnuts, almonds, and what other kind of seed? What are the kind of nuts? We've got lots of them in the pantry. Not eating lots of nuts here lately anyway, but those are certainly healthy, good sources of protein. They do have oil. You can take almonds and grind them up, and you can actually make almond butter out of it, which is healthier than peanut butter. It's also, if you buy it pre-done where it's pure, you get like this layer of oil on the top that you've got to stir. They don't add any emulsifiers or anything into it like the commercial brands of peanut butter like they do. So you have to stir it up, and I have some. What I do is after I've stirred it a few times and I really get the dried almond stuff off the bottom and get it to mix back up, what I'll do is after I've used it, put the lid on, and then I store it upside down back, and I put it in, you have to keep it in the refrigerator. So I flip it over. So it helps kind of continue that correct mixing. So then when I turn it back, it mixes easier. So I like that. But I do like the almond butter. It's a high calorie food, so you want to limit that. Another thing to consider too, if you're eating vegan or as much vegan as you can be, mushrooms are an incredible source of vitamin D. So if you had trouble with vitamin D levels, you might consider adding more mushrooms in with your meals. It's worked wonders for my vitamin D level. So I like it as a food too. So red, yellows, and greens are your friends. Bell peppers, broccoli, asparagus, arugula, lettuce, romaine, and iceberg. A lot of people are negative on iceberg lettuce. There's no reason to be. Cucumbers, tomatoes. I like the Roma and the beefsteak tomatoes. I think the Roma tomatoes are a little better tasting. I guess there are some really good beefsteak tomatoes too. Nope, I don't have a cold. I'm fantastic. I'm not using the regular microphone. I've got a microphone that I can plug in that I usually use. I didn't plug it in, so I'm just using the built-in microphone on the laptop. So probably makes me sound different. But I'm not congested, I promise. I'm in good shape. And I feel good. Drinking my water. Don't forget to drink plenty of water when you're fasting. There's no reason not to. Anyway, so it's been a good day, and looking forward to a great week. And you guys, hey Pam, that was you. I didn't even recognize that you had sent that message. I'm sorry. Rom3, and they looked at you like you had two heads. Did you tell them to look it up? I hope you had them look it up, Pam, because it's really a fantastic device. Karen, my daughter, she eats a lot of vegan. She rarely eats meat, but she does sometimes. And the DW, darling wife, she is not enjoying the whole food plant-based, and she's gone back to a more paleo kind of diet. She feels that that works better for her, and it's her choice. So don't want anybody to feel like, I'm forcing my ideas on them, and I don't want my daughter to feel that she has to eat vegan, but I'm serving as a role model in that area, and she's embracing it, and she's lost a few pounds, and she feels better, and she doesn't like it when she eats meat. She notices she gets an upset stomach. It activates her reflux a little bit. She inherited gastroesophageal reflux disease from me. So unfortunately she did get that. And hi, Marie. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, you can make all kinds of nut butters that are really good for you, and different choices. But Abby is mostly vegan. We went out the other day, actually yesterday after church, we went to Panera, and she and I both had vegan meals. So the darling wife, she had something that had a little chicken in it. That's what she wanted. So again, we're all, we all just sort of pick out of the same refrigerator and pantry, and we just get different things and just make sure there's lots of fresh green stuff in there and healthy stuff. And that does require some work. That requires, going by either the farmer's market on Saturday, which we didn't do this week. And so it involves more trips to the grocery store, because if you don't, then you end up overbuying on your produce, and then your produce doesn't stay as fresh. Your downfall is carbs, Karen. Well, my downfall is bread. I admit it. I love bread. So I'm working on staying away from the grains because I love them, and I'll eat too much, and I don't need all of the calories. But when you say carbs, I think what you should, I'm just going to throw this out there. Why don't you say your downfall is starches, because that really is a better description. Baked potatoes, things like that, bread, potatoes, wheat, all the grains, those are the things that really pack a lot of calories on. And whereas vegetables are carbs, of course, too, but they have carbs and they have proteins and they have fats. They have all of that. Avocados, for example, lots of good, healthy fat in those. But you want to eat carbs. You want to eat the healthy carbs, though. So you want to eat your greens, your yellows, and your reds, tomatoes, yellow peppers, bell peppers, squash, zucchini, which is green, and cucumbers, and all these healthy areas. We want to kind of focus on eating those, but we don't want to overload the carbohydrates. So I'm sorry. See, I just did it. We don't overload the starches. So really what we want to shoot for is about 80% of our intake coming from fruits and vegetables. And then we want about 10% coming from mushrooms, and we want only 10% to come from starches, which would be, your rices and wheat and all of that. So by eating that way, your body will naturally become thinner. You'll become healthier. Your cholesterol will improve. Your vitamin levels will all go up. And you'll feel better, and you actually will improve your memory, although it doesn't look like it with me today. You'll improve your vasculature. Everything will start working better. Your kidney function will improve. Your A1C, if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, your A1C will go down. Your body will begin to process the healthier carbohydrates in the vegetables better. And for a lot of type 2 diabetics, combining a whole food plant-based diet like I've just described, along with exercise, you can actually get rid of the diabetes. You can cure yourself. Is it easy? No. And if you go back to your old way of eating, will it come back? Absolutely. It could come back anyway. So what you want to do is you want to realize that type 2 diabetes in general is a disease of hyperinsulinemia and insulin resistance. So in response to your body becoming resistant to your own naturally circulating insulin, it begins to produce more. So you've got toxicity from the elevated glucose, but you also have a toxicity from the elevated insulin levels. The elevated insulin levels are a natural growth hormone, and they will cause you to put on weight, or it will cause you to put on weight. So So diabetics, for example, that have had poor control on oral medications, then we add insulin, they almost always gain a lot of weight, and in the long run, we're worsening this hyperinsulinemic state, which can promote cancers and heart disease and other problems. So diabetes is a very difficult disease to manage. And I know a lot of diabetics work very, very hard to do so, and the ones that don't pay the price a lot sooner than the ones that do. Now, I had an A1C of 5.8 back in February before I changed the way I ate. And after about 8 weeks of a combination of intermittent fasting and whole food plant-based eating, I was able to reduce that pre-diabetic state of a 5.8, which is probably somewhere around 120 average in my glucose, down to a 5.1, which is normal, which is an average of 100 or so. So that's where your sugar should be. Your glucose level is sugar, and that's where it should be. And so when I told people that I actually improved my pre-diabetes by going to a whole, completely no animal-based products diet with all of my calories coming from fruits and vegetables, carbohydrate-based, people don't understand how that's possible when our thinking is just the opposite. And so our thinking is wrong, and the diabetes is caused by the animal products that actually think of it as gumming up the works, the milks and the butters and the cheeses and the animal products themselves, the meats of all kinds, so the flesh, so chicken, fish, pig and cow, that actually causes the insulin resistance that is then manifest when we eat the starches or too much, in the carbohydrate family. So as a result, we think that it's a product of eating too much starch. Well, it's really not. That's just when it shows up. The disease itself is caused by the animal product. So it's a different way of thinking, and if we could get more people to make the swap, I think we'd all be healthier. Not to mention feel better and be lighter. So anyway, I hope you guys have a super day. I'm waiting on a phone call, so I'm going to say goodbye for now and let you know that the quest continues, being healthier by eating differently. And I hope you all are doing well. Have a super good day, and I will see you again soon.